Got a Fintiso here, and it's literally, I got a callback. So we did the one, Fintiso sent it over to us. They watched the video, and they asked me if I wanted to do another one. And of course I did. Man, I love fondling knives. I mean, hopefully that doesn't get us an X rating or something, but yeah, I mean, give me an opportunity to put my hands on a knife. And y'all know, anybody that's been around the channel for a while, I mean, I ain't fussy. You give me a $5 knife, I'll check it in. If you give me a $50 knife, I'll definitely check it in. If you give me a $500 knife, I ain't scared. I'm on it. But yeah, so they reached out, and so we got a call back. What's up, man? I mean, it's one thing for them to reach out the first time. What do we got? It doesn't say what it is here. I'm pretty sure those numbers tell us it's a 0417 XCY, but I think it's the Odyssey. If I remember what they told me, I think it's an Odyssey, but we'll ensure that. Endless exploration, endless sharp. Let me look here. Was there something in here? It's user manual, not manual, user manual. I think that's basically saying it's sharp. Don't cut yourself. Standard zip pouch. Fintiso cleaning cloth. Fintiso sticker. I mean, they're trying to play with the big boys. Stickers and cloths and some hardware. Yeah, okay. Is that it in there? It is. All right. Well, let's get that out of the way because let's get to the meat and potatoes. G10, steel liners, G10 backspacer, wonderful aggressive jimping, stiff pocket clip, excellent texture on the G10, back flipper, thumb stud, spidey flick. Let's go with the back flipper. 14C 28N steel. It's got this black coating, liner lock. 100% it's on bearings. Great action. The detent is way down there. Yeah, almost at a 45. So it's got a late release detent going in closed. It's way down there. It's got a lanyard hole. I mean, yeah, I could feel it. But a little bit of tension runs right out there. They've got their logo here. I hope as they go, this is just me, but strip this and trust your logo to step up and represent you. I love the fact that it's in a non-machine pivot. And I'm okay if they put the name of the knife somewheres on here. That wouldn't hurt. Because in the end, if somebody's out and about and they show this to somebody, they need, yeah, it's a Fintiso. Fintissimo, no. But what model is it? There's no model number, so they wouldn't know what to look for. They just have to look at all the Fintiso knives, which, I don't know, is that a bad thing from a marketing perspective? It's like, yeah, I saw this one, I really like it. So they just got to pull them up and look at them all. Yeah. What's that jimping about? I want to check that. All right. Well, let's get in it. I like the way it's running. definitely a captured pivot, and we are locked up, man. Yep. I'm going to try this first. I'm not going to try too hard, but I'm going to try this, and if not, then we'll go to our trusty wrench. Yeah. We may have to cook this one. I don't know. We'll see. Oh no. But if the wrench can't get it, then we'll boil it, because we are getting in this knife. Did they intentionally send me one that I can't get in? Of course not. That's ridiculous. Make no sense. Blade centered. I like it. All right, let's see what's up. I wanted to close that blade because I think the less exposure I have to my hand, the better. I felt movement. Positive I got movement. Let's get rid of the wrench. Come back with the lightweight. A little bit of Loctite. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I mean, if you don't have a wrench and you were just using, let's say you bought this bit driver from Timber's Edge, and this is all you had, that might have been a struggle. Looks like TH on a pocket clip, TH back here, TH across the board, I believe. That's actually a T6. Yeah, they're T6s. The pivot's a T8, but it looks like everything else is going to be a T6. Oh no. Yeah. They got that one in there too. Well, let's go through the same process. Let me put it here and see if I can't get it. Oh. Oh. I mean, now, same process. I did not try this bit driver, but if that's all you have from, like, let's say you bought one of those from Timber's Edge, I mean, that might have been a struggle because, I mean, look at the indent the knife left in my hand. I was torquing on that to get that out of there. So what I would say is, hey, Fintiso, man, you got to use right Loctite. That is some tough stuff you're using right there. And your standard user trying to get in these, it would have been really easy to strip that screw out. Yep. Now, maybe you're not building knives for people to take apart, but people do take them apart. Yeah, and all that Loctite, the other thing it does, especially that really tough stuff, it will help lock the scales down. I'm going to pull this pocket clip. Yeah, so they didn't Loctite these. Thank goodness. Yeah, they did, but they used just the tiniest amount. Which, you know, if they'd have just put a dab on the end of this, look at the whole screw is covered in it. If they'd have just put a dab on the end, man, you gotta be careful with that Loctite, because you take a purchase that somebody's happy with, and then they go to disassemble it to clean it or whatever. Maybe they're just a tinkerer like me, and then they ruin the knife. Yeah, it had an internal screw right there. A little bit of oil in here, but yeah, it's got one internal screw holding the liners together, and it was not Loctited. It did not have Loctite on it. Ah, the search for proper language. Yeah, so we're pinched here. But I got it covered too. A little pry bar. There it is. All right. Well, let's wipe it down. Clean it up. I won't be needing this again. I do like this coating. It's got a sand texture to it. I like it. Minimal amount of oil in here. Look at the skeletonizing on that steel liner. Definitely keeps the weighting down, or the weight, not waiting for it. Weirdo. Yeah, so what was holding this down is this stop pin. It is locked in there, and I think I'm going to just leave it. No sense me trying to dig that out of there. And the action was good, so I am not going to adjust the lock bar tension. Just a little bit of excess oil. Captured pivot. It's amazing how many knives I come across still that do not have captured pivots. It's kind of weird, but here you go, Fintiso getting it done right. All right, I think we're good. And I love me a good budget knife. I mean, legit, I do. Are these different? Maybe not. I think they are different. A little, maybe not. I think figment of my imagination. Just a tiny little bit of oil. Oops. There we go. Ah, come on. Goof. That liner screw, I left it off. That's all right. I don't think it took me 10 seconds, did it? This one. Let's run that action. Makes me wonder. I think I'm going to check the tension of this liner lock. Looks like we're lined up the outside here to the inside there. I'm just going to check it. Because the action, I'm failing it. It feels a little bound up, but it makes me wonder if that lock isn't just set too tight. I'm about to find out. I think I need my pry bar again. I mean, not really. I don't have any room to really adjust that. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, oh well. It's not bad. It's just me and my perpetual search for perfection, right? I'm always looking to make it just a little bit better. Ah, come on. I caught it this time. Oh, barely, though. I almost put that on. Would have had to take it off again. I don't know. You're watching this. Would you trust me with your product? I mean, I get it. Mm. All right, let's get the pocket clip back on. Since I got it off, I'm going to put a tiny itty bit of tension on it. You don't have to. I'm sure it's going to be just fine, but since I got it here, it is adjustable. I'll show you. You just squeeze that a little bit. That's all it took. And recessed into the G10. I'm not a huge fan of pocket clips like that, but it does have 2 screws and it's got 4 straight lines. So as long as these screws stay tight, which I don't think this knife's going to have any problems with tight screws, but as long as those screws stay tight, this pocket clip will definitely outlast other components of the knife. Should last forever. Or at least as long as a knife. Or until the first user goes to the afterlife, right? The original purchaser. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get rid of tools. I mean, it's a A minus to a B plus, and there's a couple of reasons why. Is one, I can easily fail it. It's not running as free as it could, and is it because of the tension of the lock bar? Is it because the bearings running on that black coating? I'm not sure, but I can easily fail the knife. However, with a little bit of action to the flipper tab. The flipper tab's got a little bit of a hook on it. It's about even with the center of the pivot, so it's a positive platform. And if you don't get the right tension on it, you can fail the deployment, but just a little bit of downward action and that thing will run. So, that's one. Two is this late detent. So you got to get all the way to there to get to it, and then there to get past it for it to close. Now it does close very well, very hydraulic, just a little bit of coaxing. But if you try to do that before that, it'll go back the other way, potentially. So you got to get it past that point, and it's just a little late. So because of that, I mean, I'm leaning A- to a B+. But other than that, the thumb flick is solid. The Spidey flick is very solid. Yeah. Access to the lock bar. This is lowered and scalloped. The liner lock is scalloped, so reaching in, you can see it here. Excellent access to it, and it's not overly tensioned. Yeah, it's very easy to unlock the knife. Ergonomics. Yeah, come on, man. This bulbous area here, and then the last lock in for my small finger, jimping on the spine. I mean, not so confident, very confident. This thing just goes whoop past confident towards very confident. This is a wonderful grip. And with that pokey blade, whew, this thing's a capable little budget piece for sure. Reverse grip's got this wonderful grip jimping here on the back spacer. This reverse grip, solid as they come, very comfortable. And I mean, maybe some bonus ticks that I can get here and cap it. This works, and it locks my palm in with the finger guard. I'd rather be here than here. This is more comfortable than this, but I'd rather have this right here than the other. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's check the pocket clip. Thick stuff. Yeah, wonderful. It's got maybe a 1/4 of an inch poking its head out there. Nice, long, good-looking pocket clip. Excellent tension on it. Yeah, same here on standard jean size material. You can hear it grip. Yep, very nice. My spot in the back pocket. Yeah, if I put it there, I'd expect it to be there. If I went tumbling around or whatever, when I reach back, this knife's going to be where I put it. So good pocket clip. Let's check it for safety. See if we got blade contact anywhere. None through the back, and the tip is recessed below there. So clip is great, tip is good, and I can handle this knife any way I want without catching that sharp 14C 28N. The detent on the bottom holding the blade in, pretty snappy. Yeah, I can't throw that blade out. Let's check that lock. Yeah, it's solid. Very nice. All right, well, 14C. I said this on their other one. I mean, they got the first memo. Somebody listened and sent it, and it said, hey, if we're going to make a knife and be a knife company, let's make sure we send sharp knives. And this one is no exceptions. Very sharp, nice edge. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so there's that late detent, man. You got to get down like right there. I can shake it past it, but you run the risk of it going the other way. So be aware of that. Price and availability. What are we talking about here? Okay, so this is the Fintiso Odyssey, 14C G10. And this is a little higher end budget piece. So there's a link down below. If you click in the description of the video, you'll find a link to Amazon for this piece. It is $71. Yep. And it's available, so you can have one now. So is it a $71 piece? I mean, it's on the higher end of a budget scale for me. My budget scale went from 50 and under to 75 and under this year. And so this one's right up there, bouncing its head on the ceiling. But it is a really nice piece. Solid, firm. There's several versions. So for the same $71, you can get this in an aluminum handled version, scale, on top of the steel liner. There's also a red sandalwood version, and then I believe there's a green G10 version, which that green G10, you could dye it purple if you wanted to. I want to check something and see if they tell us what this coating is. Let me check that. Yeah, nothing on that. They don't really say what this is. It does have some texture to it, so I'll just say that. Overall, listen, I think it's a nice knife, but I think the price point's a little high. Maybe $71 for the aluminum handled one. Um, but for this particular version, something tells me that this is probably going to find its way in the $50 range. And for $50, is this a good $50 knife? I would definitely feel better about the knife at that price point for sure. Yep. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate Fintiso sending it to me, and I appreciate y'all watching it. Yep. Take care.